Hey, name's Ryan, 26, graphic designer. Boring job, boring town, Crestwood, Ohio. If you blink too long, you'll miss it. Half the people here still think Snapchat streaks are a personality. Anyway, I've been single for about too long. So, yeah, I finally caved and made a Tinder account. Big mistake. Like, life-altering mistake. So this girl, Lena, matches with me. Profile looks normal. Cute smile, nothing over the top. One selfie, one mirror pic, one beach photo. Exactly the kind of effortlessly real vibe that reels you in. We start chatting. She's quick, funny, a little sarcastic. Honestly, she kinda reminded me of me. After a couple of hours, she says, "You're cooler than most creeps here. Let's move to Snap. Tinder's glitchy." I should have known. That sentence is the digital equivalent of "don't go into the basement." Her Snap stories were weird. Never of her face. Always dark rooms, street lights, a hand holding a drink. She said she worked nights, so okay, fine. We talked for a few days. Memes, random voice notes, late night flirting. But then one night she sends a snap. A picture of my street. Caption, "Guess where I am?" I froze. She hadn't asked for my address. I hadn't shared my location. So I texted, "Wait, how do you know where I live?" She replied in seconds, "Relax, small town. Easy to find." She suggested we meet. Said she'd pick me up near the old gas station outside town, 9 p.m., Friday. Something in me screamed no, but I went anyway, because apparently my brain shuts off when someone says, "I'll bring drinks." She pulled up in a gray SUV, windows tinted, music low. I walked up, tried to look inside, but she didn't roll down the window. Just texted me, "Hop in." Yeah, I didn't. Instead, I said, "Come on, at least say hi." The car just idled for a second, then drove off. No wave, no explanation. 5 minutes later, I got a snap from her, a video, taken from inside the car. It showed the road and me standing there under the streetlight. Caption, "You should have gotten in." I reported the account, blocked her, deleted Tinder. But by morning, new accounts started adding me on Snap, all with random names. Same Bitmoji, same eyes, same Lena smile. Every time I blocked one, another popped up. Then they started sending me pictures of me, at work, at the coffee shop, one even from my apartment hallway. The last one said, "You left your window open last night." I finally went to the cops. They looked bored, said catfishing scams happen all the time. I showed them the pics, but all the accounts were gone by the time they checked. They told me to lay low, like that was even possible. That night, my doorbell rang around midnight. I peeked through the peephole, empty porch. Then my phone buzzed. Snapchat. A video. Grainy footage, someone standing outside my door. Camera panning up slowly. And then a hand placing something on the ground. I opened the door, heart hammering. Nothing there, except a small, folded note, written in black marker. We only needed one more picture. I moved out a week later, changed my number, deleted every app. New job, new city. But sometimes, I still get random friend requests. Blank Bitmojis. Usernames like Lena2, Just Say Hi, Snapgirl_X. Last month, one slipped through before I noticed. She sent just one photo, a selfie, half face visible. And behind her, in the reflection of a window, was me, sitting at my new desk, in my new apartment. So yeah, I don't really date online anymore. I barely even use my phone. But some nights, when I walk home, I swear I see that same gray SUV parked down the block. Engine off, lights dim. And every time I blink, it feels a little closer.
Hey, I'm Erin. I'm 24, fresh out of college, and currently broke enough to consider instant noodles a balanced meal. So when I found a Craigslist ad for a room downtown that said, "No deposit, female preferred," I thought, jackpot. Because who turns down free rent, right? Yeah, I should have. The guy's name was Josh, mid-30s, techie vibe, quiet but friendly. He said he owned the apartment but needed someone to help with rent since his fiancée moved out. The place was nice, clean, furnished, one room locked at the end of the hallway. He said it was his ex's and he didn't like going in there. Fair enough. I wasn't gonna poke around. First few weeks were fine. We didn't talk much. He worked nights, came home late. Sometimes I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and hear the floorboards creak. I told myself it was just the building. Then little things started shifting. My shampoo would move, my closet door slightly open when I never left it that way. Once I woke up and found my phone moved from my desk to the kitchen counter. Josh joked that I was sleepwalking. I laughed, but my stomach dropped when he said it like he knew. Then one night, he asked if I ever talk in my sleep. I said no. He smiled and said, "You did last night. You said my name." I didn't sleep much after that. A week later, Josh said he was going on a weekend trip for work. I finally had the apartment to myself. I was binge watching some trash TV when the Wi-Fi cut out. Router was in his room, the locked one. So naturally, I went to check. Door unlocked, just like that. Inside, no ex's stuff, just a bed and cameras, 3 of them facing toward the door, the hallway, and one hidden in a vent. A wall monitor with folders labeled with dates, each file named Erin_room, Erin_sleep, Erin_shower. I felt sick. He came back early. I heard the front door open, his keys drop. 5 froze. He called out,
"Erin, you in there?"
I stepped out of the room, shaking, said I'd lost the Wi-Fi. He smiled, didn't even pretend to be surprised I'd found it. He just said,
"Guess we'll need new rules, huh?"
I ran, didn't pack, didn't look back. Cops took my statement, but they said all the footage was deleted. Josh vanished, quit his job, left town. Every few weeks, I still get random messages from unknown accounts. Nothing written, just screenshots of me sleeping. They're always recent, and every single one ends with the same text overlay. You still talk in your sleep.
You ever notice how every scam call starts the same way? "Sir, we're calling from your bank," or "Your phone plan needs verification." Yeah, I used to mess with them for fun, until one day, one of them called back. My name's Ryan, 27, IT guy, night owl, caffeine junkie. I live in a decent apartment, have a boring job, and talk to my microwave more than actual humans. Life was peaceful, predictable, until I picked up that call. It was 9:47 p.m. I remember because I was halfway through a pizza, debating if watching another true crime documentary made me dark or just lonely. Then the call came in. Unknown number. I answered with my usual sarcasm. Congratulations, you've reached Ryan. Press 1 to scam me. Silence. Then a voice said, Hi, Ryan. Don't hang up. Creepy, calm female voice. No accent, just flat. Like she was reading from somewhere near the mic, not into it. I laughed. Oh no, is this the part where you tell me my account's been compromised? She said, Not yet. I waited for the punchline, but there wasn't one. She just started describing things. You're wearing a gray hoodie. Your blinds are half open. And there's a delivery box still outside your door. I froze. I hadn't posted anything online. No cameras in my room. No windows visible from the street. I looked at the peephole. Nothing. Checked the door. Package was still there. No footsteps, no cars, no shadows. I said, Okay, who is this? She said, You don't remember me, but I remember you. The line went dead. I tried calling back, disconnected. 5 minutes later, a text came through. A photo. My bedroom. Taken from behind me. I turned around so fast I knocked the chair over. No one there. No signs of forced entry. But in the reflection of the TV, I could see someone standing behind the half-closed door. When I checked, it was just open. Empty. The next night, the same number called again. Same voice. Calm. Quiet. Whispering just above static. She said, You didn't sleep much. You moved your bed. But it doesn't matter. I hung up, blocked the number, reset my phone. Thought maybe I was being watched through my webcam. Taped it. Even turned off Wi-Fi for the night. Next morning there was a voicemail, 2 minutes long, all breathing. And at the end, a whisper. Don't block me again. I went to the police. They checked the call logs. Turns out the calls weren't coming from a phone. They were being routed through a local network server, from inside my building. They advised me to stay alert, whatever that means, and left. So that night, I set up my laptop to record audio while I slept. When I played it back in the morning, at exactly 3:12 a.m., there was a faint sound. Not a voice, not a knock, just a quiet click, like a phone camera taking a photo. Then a whisper, closer than before. Perfect. The next evening, my phone rang again, same number. Only this time when I answered, there was no voice, just the sound of a notification chime, like my own phone getting a text. I checked my messages. New photo. It was me, answering the call. I don't answer unknown numbers anymore. But every few nights, my phone still rings at 9:47. No number, no name. Just the same ringtone, and that same soft click before the silence.
You ever notice how every neighborhood has that one house? The one nobody talks about, the one that's just off? Yeah, mine was right across the street. My name's Ethan Cole. I'm 27, live in a quiet suburb outside of Milwaukee. The kind of place where everyone mows their lawn on Saturdays and waves like it's a rule in the HOA manual. I work remote, freelance design stuff, which basically means I spend way too much time staring out my window. That's how I first noticed him. The guy across the street, mid-40s, flannel shirts, kept to himself. Let's call him Mr. Reynolds. At first, he just seemed boring. You know, single guy, lives alone, doesn't bother anyone. But then small things started feeling wrong. Some nights around 3 a.m., his basement lights would flicker on. Not like I can't sleep doing laundry kind of thing. No, it was this white-blue glow that stayed on for hours, pulsing like a heartbeat. And sometimes there were sounds, muffled cries. Not loud enough to be certain, just enough to make your stomach turn. I told myself it was a TV. Because that's what you do. You lie to yourself to keep the world simple. One morning, I saw him dragging something heavy from his car trunk into the basement. It looked like a mannequin, except the arm flopped wrong, like too natural. I remember joking to my friend, "Bro, I think my neighbor's into some serial killer DIY project." We laughed, because that's what you do when you're scared. You hide it under humor. But then that week, someone went missing. A girl from 2 streets over, last seen jogging near our block. That's when I noticed something new. Mr. Reynolds' garage door was always closed now, and a heavy-duty lock had appeared on his basement door. I couldn't shake it, the fear, the curiosity, the guilt of not knowing. So one night, I watched. 2:17 a.m., lights flicker on, a shadow moves past the window. I grab my camera, zoom in, shaky hands, and there it is, a figure, bound, and Reynolds, wearing latex gloves. I called 911. They told me they'd send someone. It felt like forever before the cruisers pulled up. I watched from behind my curtains as the cops knocked, then forced the door. What they found still makes me sick. The basement was soundproofed. There were 6 chairs lined up, bolted to the floor. Each one had restraints. Blood on the floor. Photos pinned to the wall. Missing people, local joggers, college kids, all smiling in pictures that looked like they were taken before he found them. And the girl? She was there. Alive. Barely. Turns out, Reynolds wasn't just some loner. He'd been posing as different people online. Fake Tinder profiles, jogging group chats, even fake lost dog posts to lure people nearby. His basement was a trophy room. He live-streamed parts of it on the dark web. Yeah, that close to home. You know what the worst part is? That night after the cops took him away, I couldn't sleep. The flashing red-blue lights faded, neighbors whispered, the whole block stayed up. But in the quiet, I looked out again. His window was still glowing faintly. Police had cut the power, but that light, it flickered like a pulse one last time. And I swear I saw movement. Something. Looking back. They say you should know your neighbors. I did, and I wish I never had.
You know how people say, if you want to see the real side of a city, work the night shift? Yeah, I did that, and I wish I hadn't. My name's Ryan Mercer. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. Not exactly the murder capital of the world, right? Pretty calm, middle-of-nowhere kind of place. At least, that's what I thought. A few months ago, I started working nights for a food delivery app, Doormate. Basically Uber Eats, but worse pay and creepier customers. I liked the solitude, driving through silent neighborhoods, listening to late-night podcasts, sipping terrible gas station coffee. But one night, one delivery, changed everything. It was a Thursday, around 12:40 a.m. I got an order. No big deal. Double cheeseburger, fries, chocolate shake. Address, 1126 Brookside Lane. No profile pic, no name, just customer 9083. Weirdly specific instructions. Come to the side door, knock 3 times, don't ring the bell. Leave the bag on the bench and wait 30 seconds before leaving. I laughed. Probably some stoned college kid doing a prank. But it was a $25 tip, so I didn't ask questions. Brookside Lane was out near the woods. One of those streets where every house looks like it's holding its breath. I parked in front of a 2-story house. No lights, no sound. Only the soft hum of my car and crickets outside. I grabbed the bag, walked to the side door, and the smell hit me. Not food. Something metallic, like rust or blood. I knocked. Once, twice, 3 times. No response. Then the door creaked open, just a few inches. I froze. Hello? Doormate delivery? Nothing. Just darkness. And that smell getting stronger. I set the bag down, turned to leave, and heard a voice. Soft, raspy. You're late. I spun around, but no one was there. The door was open wider now. All I could see was a dim hallway and a staircase leading down. And then my phone buzzed. A message from the app. Stay still. We're watching you. I laughed nervously. Thought it was a glitch or prank. But then another message came in, this time from a different number. Don't turn around. My body locked up. I didn't want to, but I turned anyway. There was a man, standing by my car, head tilted, wearing a delivery uniform. My uniform. He was holding a doormate bag identical to mine, except his had stains on it. He smiled, this slow, broken smile, like he was learning how for the first time. Then he said, I got your shift tonight. And before I could move, he dropped the bag. A hand, a real hand, rolled out. Female, pale, cold. I ran, sprinted to my car, slammed the door, hit reverse, and as my headlights flashed over the house, I saw movement. Dozens of faces, through the windows, each wearing delivery caps, each smiling. I drove straight to the police, told them everything. The address, the texts, the man, the hand. They went there immediately. But here's the twist. No house existed at 1126 Brookside Lane. The lot was empty, overgrown, abandoned for over a decade. They showed me photos, a burnt foundation, rubble, nothing else. And the coordinates from my app? They didn't point to Brookside Lane. They pointed to an industrial park 15 miles away. Guess what they found there? A shipping container filled with old delivery uniforms, rotting food bags, and human remains. The cops said there's been a pattern for years. Fake delivery orders placed to lure drivers, sometimes for robbery, sometimes for worse. They don't know who's behind it. A group, a cult, or one psychopath using burner phones and spoofed addresses. They said I was lucky, that most of the missing drivers never made it back. Now it's been 3 months. I quit, deleted the app, but I still get notifications from a ghost account. Things like, your shift starts soon. We've got your order. Come to the side door. I blocked the numbers, but the messages keep coming from my own profile. Last night, I heard a knock at my door, 3 times. And when I checked the porch camera, there was a man wearing my old doormate jacket, smiling, holding a food bag. And in the reflection of my window, he looked exactly like me.